Derita, derita, derita. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, okay. Up, 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 up. Don't move. Asparagus.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So in the video today, I'm going to be discussing whether attending community college or university is better for completing your associate's degree or your prerequisites. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to say that this is just my experience, okay? And my thoughts and what I think about attending university level and community college and applying to BA school and getting accepted into BA school. I don't want to get a lot of hate comments, which I have had in the previous videos, but this is just my experience and my thoughts about community college and university level courses when applying to BA school. So real quick, once you graduate from high school, you have the option of attending a community college or attending a university. Now this really depends on you. If you want to live that university lifestyle, or go for it. If you have a full-base scholarship, that's even greater. But for those of you, like for myself, when I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then on top of that, I didn't have the funds to attend a prestigious university or just a university in general, because of course, you know, community college is a lot cheaper than university level. When I was attending a community college for a semester, for me, it was about $800, $900 versus a semester when I was attending university, it was about $4,000. So obviously there's a huge difference in the price range, and I was paying tuition out of pocket. So this is why I decided to attend community college the first few years before attending university. Now, I have to say that that's okay. I got accepted into PA school. I am currently a second-year PA student. Am I different because I attended community college than university in comparison to my classmates? Definitely not. We're all in the same level. Am I different because I attended a community college or a community university in comparison to some of my classmates that went to like Ivy universities and graduated from an Ivy university with a really good degree? No, we're all in the same boat. We're all learning the same information. We're all going to become PAs. And when you're a PA, they don't ask you where you graduated or where you attended. It really doesn't matter. And that is honestly my honest opinion. So when I graduated high school, I decided to attend community college. I finished all my basics in my community college. So I did, of course, my English courses, I did my math courses, my government courses, etc. So I finished that. I graduated with an associate's degree from a community college. And then I did some of my prerequisites also in a community college. Not all of them, some. Now with this, you have to be careful because whatever program you're applying to, they specifically will say that they prefer or want your prerequisites from a university rather than at a community college level. And that's one thing I made sure that I did before I decided to apply to that program. Or if later in the future I had already finished all my prerequisites and I had seen and I was researching programs that program did not accept community college prerequisites, then I didn't apply to that program. So I just applied to programs that did accept some, not all, of my prerequisites from community colleges. That way I didn't have to retake that class again. So I did some of my prerequisites in community college. Some of them, for example, were my microbiology classes, my anatomy and physiology classes, my organic, my general chemistry 1 and 2. Also, I did at a community college. And then once I graduated with my associate's degree and I was able to do as many community college courses that were prerequisites as I could, then that's when I transferred to a university and I started attending to a university. And I actually went to Texas A&M San Antonio. So Texas A&M has a branch in the city where I'm from, which is San Antonio, and that's where I went to get my degree. And I decided to go to that school even though it was about an hour away from my home because it was cheaper than the other universities that were within my city at the time. I know now the price has gone a little bit up, but at the time it was a lot cheaper, so that's why I decided to do that hour drive to and back, since like I said, I was paying out of pocket for my tuition. So I wanted to make sure that I was attending a good university that was also inexpensive and that was affordable, and that's what my university offered, which was great. And then on top of that, I was also working at the same time, so I wanted to make sure that they were flexible with my work and attending school, which they were, so that's why I decided to attend that university. So graduated with my associate's degree, and then after that I attended that university. I was there for about 2 years, about 2 years I was there, and I completed my bachelor's degree. And then once I completed my bachelor's degree, I then applied to PA school. With my bachelor's, what I did is that they gave you your degree plan, and of course you needed to complete certain classes in order to graduate with your bachelor's. So what I did is that I saw that degree plan. If there were certain classes that I could complete at a community college and they accepted, and that's what I did. If not, then I would complete it at the university level. So I would try to be as effective or cost effective as I could, and thankfully I graduated with no loans. So I graduated my bachelor's degree with no loans whatsoever. I paid it all out of pocket. I was working, like I said, I was always working the entire time I was in school, and there was a time where I even worked 2 jobs to be able to pay for my tuition, but it worked out. I graduated my university and college with a bachelor's degree without having to pay any loans, and I'm really happy about that. So I think I did it in a very cost-effective way. On top of that, I was able to save enough money to apply to PA school. The first time I applied to about 9 schools. So if you know about applying to PA school, it's pretty expensive, especially if you start adding more and more schools. Some programs you have to apply through CASPA, you need your application fee for that school, and then on top of that, that program will require an extra fee. So it gets expensive the more schools you apply to. So I made sure that I also saved enough money to apply to PA school. So yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss. For those of you that think that community college is frowned upon when you're applying to PA school, no, don't worry about it. It really is not. And I feel like it prepared me equally than like my university, and it also prepared me equally in comparison to all my other classmates. I feel like I'm competent enough to apply to PA school. I think I'm competent enough during my didactic year of PA school and clinical year PA school. I'm exactly the same like all my classmates. We all want to graduate as a physician assistant, and I know once I graduate as a physician assistant, they're not going to ask me whether I attended community college for my first few years of PA school. So if it is inexpensive for you, I really recommend, if you can, to take it. If you can afford university, I know I get a lot of comments and emails from you guys saying that you're worried about financial aid and how much in debt you'll be. If you do the cheap route like this way, and you save a lot of money going through community college, and I feel like you get the same education, as at least in my opinion, in comparison to my classmates that also applied or went to Ivy League schools that are also in the same program as I am. So yeah, I just want to talk about that. This is just basically my experience, how I attended community college and universities for my prerequisites, and then my first few years for my basics. So hopefully this video is helpful for you guys and motivational. Like I keep saying, once you graduate as a physician assistant, they're not going to ask you, or the patient's not going to ask you what program you graduated from, or where you went your first few years for school, etc. Or when a doctor hires you, they're not going to ask you. I know that when I go see a doctor, I don't ask them where they graduated from, were they top of the class. I don't ask them any of that. So don't worry about it, guys. If you can't afford university, like I couldn't the first few years, then attend community college, and then after that transfer to a university. If you can't afford a prestigious university and you feel like it's going to be frowned upon when you're applying to PA school because you went to a regular university rather than one of the Ivy League universities, don't worry about it, guys. Just make sure that your application is strong, that you do really well in your classes, and that you have the volunteer hours, the patient care experience hours, those healthcare experience hours, and that drive to become a physician assistant. And the committee of the programs will see that, and they will definitely reserve you a spot for PA school. Alright guys, thanks for watching my videos, and I'll talk to you guys later.